Hi, welcome to Mentor Chat. My name is Joe, and I'm the founder of Career Mentors. And today with me, we have Mr. Nav Kishlay. He is a man of multiple talents and a very good friend of ours. And today we explore his journey, to become what he is today. He's a CSR consultant. He has multiple. He is also, he's a tabla artist. He is into drama and theater. So a man of many talents and a lot of impact, very passionate about impact to community, right? So welcome, Nav, to Mentor Chat. It's a great honor to meet you today.
Thank you, Joe, for calling me on Mentor Chat. It's an honor to be a part of Mentor Chat.
It's a pleasure, sir. So let's start as usual with your, your passion and how early did it develop, and what was your journey from your childhood till where you are today. So let's break it up to a personal perspective initially.
Yeah.
Right. So something about your schooling, your early days, your childhood, and transitioning to, the first decision where you said, this is what I want to do with my life.
Right. That's interesting. So I have been born and brought up in a small township, which is called Bokaro Steel City.
Okay.
My father was working there as an engineer. And it's a wonderful township in Jharkhand, present Jharkhand. Then back then it was Bihar. And I studied in DPS Bokaro up till class 10th. Then I left for Ranchi. And I was in Ranchi in Vivekanand Vidya Mandir, which is basically an offshoot of Ramakrishna Mission.
Okay.
So plus 2 I did from there.
So was that some sort of an open schooling or unstructured?
No, it was a regular CBSE school. And after that, I went to Delhi.
Okay.
I was in Ramjas College. I was a music quota student. So since the age of 9, I started learning tabla.
Okay.
Back in Bokaro Steel City.
How come interest in tabla?
I had that interest from a very early age. I think age of 3 or 5, I used to hum.
Music runs in the family, or?
My mom has.
Okay.
She was into Kathak, and my dad was into theater.
Right.
And there were a lot of influence of music. In fact, my father bought me a tape recorder when I was 5 years old, for my birthday.
Right.
That's what I remember. And I used to listen to a lot of songs.
Okay.
Filmy songs and ghazals. My father was a huge fan of ghazals. He used to listen to Jagjit Singh, Pankaj Das, bhajans of Anup Jalota. It was a common thing back then.
Okay.
And then songs of Mukesh, Rafi, Kishore Kumar, Lata. And in fact, that place, Bokaro, is a bigger, I would say, township, something like Chandigarh. Okay. And we had people from different parts of the country over there. We had apartment system back then in 1980s. So the entire community was like that.
So a lot of influences from multiple states, multiple people.
Yes.
It was a steel plant, right?
It was a steel plant.
City,
so we had engineers, doctors.
A lot of talent from
the various parts. We had people from Punjab, Delhi, from Tamil Nadu, from Bengal. People from some of them were from Gujarat.
Okay.
Some of them.
I believe it's a Tata group.
No, not Tata group. It's a central. It was a central government initiative,
okay.
And later on it became a PSU, public sector unit. So in 1990s there was a lot of disinvestment and it became a PSU.
Okay.
And wonderful township to be in. My mom is a poet, and she was a Hindi teacher. She's a double MA.
Is that another facet that we don't know about you as well? Do you write?
I write.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I write.
I didn't know that.
I write poetry in Hindi.
Okay.
I write short stories. Since I'm into theater, I write scripts.
Okay.
I make plays, directions. So this was there within me. Initially, if I have to talk about my school days and college days, I was very much active in football. I was very much active in theater, music. This was my life back then. There was no specific goal per se. If I have to put in that way, nothing. Because in that city, everyone was becoming an engineer or a doctor. So
that is the expectation, like everybody else.
There was a pressure on me, and I went with the flow.
Sure.
But I was always into music. When I was in Delhi, I was part of a group which is called Backbeat, which is a music society of Ramjas College. And then Shunya was the theatre society. So as a part of the music society, I would always also give music to the theatre society plays, in the back end. So then in my school, when I was in, I think standard 4 or 5, there was a play which was called Charan Das Chor, written by Habib Tanveer Saab, and it was a famous play. So Mr. Nimu Bhaumik, he came to he was from NSD, and he came to our school and he directed the entire play. I was in the back end, helping them in music.
Behind the stage.
Okay. My brother was acting in that. And wonderful play of, I think it was around 2 hours.
Wow.
So I was very much intrigued and very much interested to be in. And then I started acting in some skits in school. But music was the center stage for me. That was the main thing.
Got it.
When I went to Delhi, there I was exposed to Shunya. Then I was exposed to theatre. Initially, I was considered as a very bad actor. Which happens to most of the
when you start off.
When you start off, your
it's just your confidence in yourself which keeps you going.
Yeah. So I was a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan.
Okay.
Amitabh Bachchan.
So they were also just starting off maybe at that time, or it was. Had they already become superstars? Or
they had become superstars. Of course, Amitabh Bachchan was a big legend.
Amitabh Bachchan was a big legend.
By then, Shah Rukh Khan was already in the industry, so I was very much impressed. Then somehow, because I was in Delhi and I started visiting NSD, Shri Ram Center with the theatre group.
A lot of influence on theatre and music in Delhi.
So I started meeting, and I was lucky enough to meet people like Ashish Vidyarthi or say, other people.
So all of them were the NSD sort of batch.
Manoj Vajpayee happens to be my college senior.
Oh.
So there was a lot of stories about him, Shekhar Suman, and then you start meeting people who are from theatre background. A lot of stalwarts, you keep meeting them. Then there were some workshops which I attended. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, he introduced me to the concept of Badal Sarkarji. And then a lot of workshops from Mr. Amitesh Grover, he did a workshop. He was from NSD. So he did a workshop in our college for 10-15 days, which was on acting. So this kind of improved my skills. Yes. And reading became a habit for me.
Okay.
That is the time when I started reading multiple books. In fact, when I was in Ramakrishna Mission also, Vivekananda Vidya Mandir, I had an access to the ashram. On Saturdays and Sundays, I would go to the ashram because I was invited as a musician. Right. So for playing tabla. So there I had an access to a wonderful library, and I was introduced to the world of Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramhans.
Philosophies.
Yeah, philosophy. A lot of books were there.
Books on that.
So by the time I came to Delhi, it became a common thing. I started reading books, spiritual books, some books by Premchand, Hindi books. And I studied science for 2 years.
Why?
Because my father wanted me to become an engineer. And yes, I was preparing for IIT. Was not good enough to crack IIT. Somehow when I cracked AIEEE, some ranks were there, 308, 309, state-wise, not nationally. Enough to get me a seat somewhere in BIT Mishra or something, but my father was not very much interested.
Got it.
Or I also cracked MP engineering, but yeah, and as it happens. So somehow there was a conflict, and then I said that, okay, if I'm not doing engineering, then why should I study science?
True. So
I dropped that. But my father didn't come to know about it,
So what did you tell him?
Nothing. I said, I'm continuing with my science. So I dropped, and he was adamant that if you are going to study something else, you have to do it on your own.
Okay.
So I said, okay. And then I joined English honors in correspondence. And that too through a test. It was not just on the basis of marks. So there was a written test. I cleared it. And then I realized that, okay, I'm enjoying it, because when I started studying English honors, I realized that I'm really good at it in terms of grasping it. Whether it was poetry or whether it is literature, drama, anything. So I never struggled there.
Okay.
I started scoring, became a good student over there.
So that was very interesting because you already have this background.
Yeah, because Shakespeare was there, Milton was there, John Milton, Geoffrey Chaucer, all those books were there. And it is a world of a dreamer, visualize yourself, visualizing getting into that world. So that made me think that it comes naturally to me.
Correct.
But I didn't have a clarity that what will I do after that. Yeah. Thought that probably.
So this was just exploring different areas which you were interested in.
Somehow I scored 50%.
Okay.
Which is good from the standards of that. But we had some subsidiary papers, economics, which I never cleared, and Hindi. Unfortunately, my mom is a Hindi teacher, and I shouldn't say this, but then I flunked it. So somehow I was able to complete my graduation.
Okay.
After graduation, I cleared some exams for journalism, some other, acting schools.
It's everything, trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error. But my father was not again keen.
True.
So I came to Bangalore to meet my brother so that he could get some funds for me.
And you have two siblings?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my elder brother was working with IBM. So he said that let me check if he can get some.
Maybe you couldn't go back home. So you bunked from there and reached Bangalore. Okay.
So I came here. My childhood friend he graduated from Manipal.
Okay.
His elder brother was already working as a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So they both were here, and then they were creating a CD which used to talk about how to crack HR interviews.
Okay.
So the CD had some PPTs and some audios actually. So then I asked them, why don't you have an audio visual over here?
True.
Which talks about how to crack an interview?
Yeah.
They said, who's going to shoot that? I said, I'll shoot it. So they gave me a budget of some 6,000-7,000 rupees. And then I went back to Delhi, gathered all my actors, theatre actors, shot it in a day.
Oh, nice.
And came back. I sat for 13 hours a day, edited that entire thing for them.
The whole course. Okay.
Put it on the CD. And we started selling the CD on the roads of Forum Mall, Koramangala, just that Raheja arcade.
Nice.
For 149 rupees.
So, hustle culture. Okay.
So, that 149 rupees, suddenly I became lucky. I met somebody who was the MD of a company called Integer Software Solution. He liked the concept and he said, please come to my office the next day in CMH Road. So, I went there along with my friend, Animesh. And he said, we are buying 500 CDs every month from you guys. 99 rupees he paid. And I think we got the first check in 2006. It was around 35,000 or 39,000 rupees check. And then we realized that, we have already become a company. So that happened.
At the start of the entrepreneur journey.
2 months down the line, the MD said that we need somebody to explain what is there in the CD because the students are not able to pick it up. It was in the lines of SIS, NIIT, that institution, IIHT, these kind of Jet Kings, those were the audience. So coming from theatre background, that helped me to interact with the students, tell them about body language, communication skill. That was not a problem. As far as the content is concerned, my friend and his brother, he used to give me the MBA books. So I started reading those books and blurted it out the very next day. But we got good money out of it. And we got good exposure. So 2-hour session, when it converted into 8-hour session, we didn't know. It just quickly changed. And then a course came. So we started getting calls from IHT, from Madurai, from Hyderabad, from Chennai, from different. So we started traveling, right? And within a year, it became a company. Nice. So 2007, the company was registered as Ripples Learning Services. Animesh's elder brother, Mr. Abhishek Kumar, he also came and joined us. He started taking sessions for the corporate houses. So we got Northern Trust. So he started conducting sessions for them. I was introduced to the concept of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, by Abhishek. I read books, read more and more things. Started shadowing Abhishek and Animesh as a trainer. And they had a lot of contribution in making me what I am today.
True.
In terms of...
So that's mentorship.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, their kind of mentorship was, they just threw me in the water. So most of the time, I had this thought that I must be ready. Otherwise,
You don't know when you'll fall in the water.
Because they would just tell me that tomorrow we have a
Again,
session.
this session is going to be taken by Nav Kishlay. That's it.
No, they would say that you speak for 15 minutes or half an hour.
Okay.
We'll speak for the next 1.5 hours. And when we would reach that place, they would say, he's going to talk. So then I realized that I have to build up upon my own content, because content is the most important.
Important, yes.
The turning point is when I was in Madurai.
Okay.
So I was 23 years old.
And still in the same profile.
Same. So same profile. And I was conducting a session for an organization called IHT.
Mm-hmm.
It had an audience of around 200 people.
Okay.
It went really well. Coming from stage, it was never an issue for me to get an accolade, from the audience. But what hit me hard was after the session, around 20, 25 of them, they came and they asked me a question that, can you guide us for our future?
Mm.
And it just hit me hard. I was like, what is this question they're asking? I am 23. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in my own life. And
I'm supposed to guide them.
Yeah. And one of them was 32 years old.
Okay.
He had 2 kids, wife and parents. And he was struggling to get a job. And he sat in front of me and he said, can you help me? And it struck my mind that if I give him a wrong suggestion today, I'll be responsible for everything, whatever happens to him and his family.
True.
And it took me back, and I took a step back and I started thinking that, will I do justice? So I said, give me half an hour. Did my research, called people, whatever I could, and I gave him good suggestion. I'm sure that he's doing good in his life. But from that moment till the time I came back to Bangalore for another 2 days, I didn't speak to any single person, not even my friends. And they were like, they were shocked. They said, what happened? Because I was contemplating. Till then, for me, it was just about performance.
True.
Just about getting accolades, claps and all. But at that moment, it struck me that if I am not good, I shouldn't do this.
Okay.
Because if anything wrong comes from my mouth, it is going to impact the life of people.
Okay.
So I'm responsible for every word but what I utter. And that changed my thought process. From there, I started reading, got myself registered for NLP, did the certification, ensured that I meet people, talk, understand how things work. Multiple such.
You started upskilling yourself in that particular, so that you can give more of guidance to your people. So
then my driving force was not just money. The driving force became that what is the value which I'm adding in the lives of others?
Absolutely.
Whether I deserve to be there or not. That was the question. And that changed my life.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
all the skill sets, like looking back, like all the different skill sets that you've developed, either by accident or either by intention, right?
Yeah.
What was the more critical skill sets which then helped you after all this contemplation and learning? If you apply it to today's world, how does it shape you as a person, as well as an entrepreneur?
So 3 things actually helped me.
Mm-hmm.
One was music.
Okay.
The second was football. And the third was theater. So all these 3 experiences of mine helped me in different ways.
So if you put that into a skill form, how would you do that?
So when in music, I learned how to bring in concentration.
Okay.
Right? And be creative.
Yes.
Okay. Your foundation has to be there, but then you have to think beyond the normal, the traditional way of thinking, right?
Got it.
Experiment, try something new. How do you become relevant? Because you have a lot of competition. There are many people there were 100 of tabla players. How are you different from others?
What's your style? What's your unique?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is your USP?
What's your USP? True.
Right. And one learning I had, my Guruji, Subhash Banerjee ji, he told me once, after a certain age, there was a set of ego within myself because I was one of the best in the district or in the state as well. So there is a place called Kala Kendra, where our training used to happen. We had multiple students over there. So one of the events where we were performing as a group, as an orchestra, I asked my junior to carry my tabla. And this was observed by my guru. Okay. So when I came back, I kept it. Next day, we were having a normal tabla session. So he said, let's have a competition between him and my junior. So we sat. So what happened was, the rhythm which he was asked to play, I was not taught that one.
Oh, okay.
So I was unable to play that. And it was in front of all the 100 students.
Wow.
So I was embarrassed. And then he said a wonderful line to me. He said, जिस दिन तुम्हारा सांस तुम्हारे लिए भारी हो गया ना बेटा, उस दिन तुम्हारा गिरना तय है. So your identity is because of this. And if you are feeling that it's heavy enough to carry, then your downfall has started at that moment. So remember, your identity is this. So
always
never
be humble. Always be
never disrespect that. Yeah. If you are capable enough to carry it, just carry it yourself. Don't ask anyone else to carry that. So that was a wonderful learning. It got stuck to my head. Yes. And this I learned when I was in like 8th standard or 9th standard. So this is something which was amazing. And music also allows you to flow. There is a flow. You go with the flow.
Got it.
Music allows you to be free. You do not have to be in a parenthesis. You start playing on the stage. Somewhere, some chord is stricken in your heart. You look at your contemporary, and then you just pick it up from there. There's nothing pre-designed. Pre-decided kind of thing. Even if you have practiced it for 1 month, you will end up playing something different on the stage.
True. So we see that a lot of the time, which the people, they go with the flow. Yeah. It's not maybe what they wanted to play.
Second is, I was a good football player and I was a midfielder.
Okay.
Right? And I'm lefty. So I used my left leg a lot. And fortunately, in my city, Peter Thangraj ji was one of the coach over there.
Okay.
He was the goalkeeper of Indian football team in Asian Games, right? So he was there. He was working with Steel Authority of India Limited, and he was coaching people in the stadium. Plus, in my school also, there were wonderful, football teachers. I.P. Singh sir, S.P. Verma ji, Dilip Singh sir, all of them actually taught us. So I remember S.P. Verma sir, had forbidden me to use my left leg for almost 6 months. I was only allowed to play from the right leg. Right wing, right out. And he said, you are not going to use your left leg. And then there was a balance. So I learned to use my right leg and right hand. And I'm ambidextrous. Right? So I can write from right and I can write from left also. I can bat left-handed, right-handed, both. So he made me discover that there has to be a balance between both the sides. And that was a wonderful learning. The second was being a midfielder. That allows you to become a hustler.
Okay.
Because midfielder has to run from the defender till the center guy, right? The striker. He cannot relax. He has to keep moving. So midfielders do not have the privilege to take a rest. And you see all the great players of the world, whether it was Maradona, Pele, Zidane, then of late, this guy, Messi, Ronaldo, all of them are midfielders.
Right.
They keep running from
end to end,
right? And I'm missing some names. A lot of names were there from different teams in different parts of the world. They all were midfielders, most of them.
So if you connect it to skill sets, so football teaches you to
be in the background, get the work done, be an executioner.
Right.
The work of a midfielder is to execute.
Okay.
And they become the bridge between the defender and the striker.
Striker. Got it.
Right. So that is the work. So behind the scene work is too much for a midfielder.
Okay.
Right. And it is, if I have to relate it with my theater experience, you're a director.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are at the background.
You bridge between the
audience and the performer.
And the performance.
Right. Similarly in music, right? Acha, I play tabla. Tabla, usually it is an instrument which accompanies other instruments or other singers.
Correct.
Very rarely you will see solo performances of tabla, right? So what is it doing? It is enhancing someone other.
Correct.
Right. So the idea is that there are nurturing work. It allows you to learn how to nurture things, how to build things, how to visualize things,
how to create a background.
All those stuff is there, and all the five.
That's more of team
Absolutely,
skills, right?
Absolutely, they are always a team person.
The end result is of a team, not a solo person.
Not a solo. This thing. So you and while being a team member, you will become a solo performer.
Right.
So one has to understand this, that you are you're working for the team. You're performing for the team.
True.
Right. You might shine and become an individual performer. You might not. But then the idea is that
you should be good with both.
Both.
Yes.
Yeah. And this has helped me today. So see how I work with multiple organizations, multiple clients, right? I struggle today at certain levels when I have to work with people at the entry level, I have learned not to take instructions, right? I have always been proactive in terms of doing things on my own.
Yes.
It was never a reactive thing, right? So you know that, okay, this is what I have to do. So then I create
you initiate.
I initiate it. I create my set of steps. What should I do? Where exactly I'll get what results, right? And also, I prefer to work with people who are as disciplined.
True.
Because you do not need someone else to monitor you.
Correct.
If you're monitoring yourself, everything will fall in place. And all these three experiences of my life have taught me that.
True.
That you don't have to find somebody to monitor you. You become your own monitor, and you keep asking questions, be it which direction, what you're going, what is your goal, right? And it also allows you to learn how to do the jigsaw puzzle.
Correct.
Right? So you decide who's going to come when.
So it's like resource management. Not everybody's got all the skill sets, so you know who has to do what when.
Midfielder knows when to pass the ball, when to kick it, when to strike the goal on his own. Yes. The work of a midfielder is to build the game.
Got it.
Right. Now coming to theater, so theater, usually people think that it is all about being on stage and acting, right? That is 10% of everything, whatever you do in theater.
Of the production.
Yes. Right.
So much of effort goes in the background to create that sort of effect.
90% of the things are behind the
scenes. True.
And the most important thing is to read, which I feel has reduced in today's
It's reduced a lot.
Generation. We have stopped reading.
Because everybody's transitioned to the screen and also ready-made sort of content, which actually does not help with critical thinking or problem solving or basically visualization. All those skill sets are now compromised.
Yeah. In fact, the other day when I was talking to our friend Jyoti Vignesh, also he also mentioned that he read a lot. He's a voracious.
I believe that's a common skill set. Even if you look at any leadership sort of role, all of them have favorite books and favorite sort of principles they follow.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And everybody says, these are the best books to read and this is what inspires me.
Yeah.
I think that should come back to the population. Reading should come back to the population because at one point of time, we had the Nalanda University, which was the biggest, I believe, all over the world.
Yeah.
Right? And our knowledge comes from from the knowledge of others and
Absolutely.
all the evolution we have all across, across different generations.
Yeah.
So great. So, and also sports, I just want to add, I'm sure, today, we don't know how to face failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Today's, and the confidence that we have in our lives, or the confidence that we have in ourselves, is not only because of ourselves, because of our support system. And our support system was our friends.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Maybe not our family.
Yeah.
But, friends would understand it better. We would have a lot of people who would support us. No matter what, we will stand by you.
True.
Right. I think that is the next thing that we are missing on this generation.
Yeah.
Building those relationships which are deep, rather than just for show. Right.
And sports also teaches you one important thing, is that you don't bring things back to your home.
Oh, it stays in the field.
In the field,
So whatever experience stays in the field. True.
You might have good experience, bad experience, or ugly experience. You might have some fights, conflicts.
It stays there. Yeah.
You don't carry it forward to your home.
True.
So that's an important.
You also learn to move past that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because afterwards, a lot of friendships have come after big fights.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. See, that is bound to happen because we are different individuals and we will have clash of opinion. We'll have difference of viewpoints and opinions. We just need to accept the way.
So conflict management is again another skill which we learn.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to accept it the way it is.
True.
Right?
True.
You, in a family, I can't change my father. I can't change my mother. Right. And we all understand over a period of time that each one of us has some or the other thing which is
we agree to disagree.
We agree to disagree, which is not of my liking.
Which is true.
Right? I can't change them.
Change them.
And similarly, I was talking to my wife also.
Yep.
So she asked me, "What do you mean by marriage?" So I said, "Ki."
So this was before marriage or after marriage?
Before marriage. She asked me.
Okay.
So I said, if अगर एक दूसरे को झेल सके पूरी जिंदगी, that marriage is successful.
Successful. True.
Because it's all about ignoring what you don't like.
Absolutely.
I will have only one reason for which I will keep loving her. And she will have only one reason for which she will keep loving me. But there are hundreds of reasons.
Why you should leave.
Right? But if you just cling on to that one reason, it'll make your life easy. And because of that one reason, you will find 10 more.
10 more. True.
Right? So where do you want to focus? What do you want to focus? Right? Ignorance is something which makes your life easy. I need to learn how to ignore things.
True. And acceptance of one true self, because you can't be anything else in a long-term relationship. So it has to be acceptance of each other.
Ignorance, moving on, let go.
Let go.
Right? There's a wonderful saying, get out of your own way. So if we don't learn how to get out of our own way, we'll keep getting stuck.
True.
We'll keep getting into conflicts. Right? There are, this is a funny anecdote. So my wife says that after marriage, she says that you easily agree to whatever I say. How is it possible?
You're always right.
So then I made her understand, say, listen, if we start having an argument, I have to listen to you. I'll keep saying I'll not do things and you'll say you have to do this, right? This argument will continue for 45 minutes. And then there would be some drama. You will not talk to me, I will not talk to you. Another 1 hour gone, right? But after 1 hour, 45 minutes, I'll be doing what you are saying.
Might as well do it right now.
So why to waste that 1 hour, 45 minutes? Accept it the way it is.
Make it more productive. True.
You say this, okay, fine. So sometimes she gets annoyed that I don't fight.
True. So there is no drama in the house.
There is no drama. And I have also figured out that she will find a way to fight.
So we have to keep finding new ways not to fight.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I have accepted that she will fight, and I accepted because I'm from theatre. I give the reactions what she wants. So it's absolutely fine, right? Because that makes her happy.
I think we should have a whole workshop on this for people to learn.
Yeah.
Because I believe a non-verbal language is the most effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I know that I might agree to what she says. She's very good. She's an HR, organized person. Takes a bath twice a day. For a man, it is a difficult task. But sometimes I'm okay to follow it Winters are difficult to take bath twice. Not understanding for kids, So please follow
Whatever your mom says.
Mom says. Very risky. It'll have consequences.
Yes. True.
So
True.
yeah. So these are things which I have agreed upon. But that's fun. That's the fun. That's the thing which you will understand. My mom also understands that there are things. See, I'm quite blunt. I can say things the way it is, right? My wife takes time to express herself.
Okay.
Right. My mom is also blunt. My father was also blunt. Whatever he had,
it runs in the family.
It's there. So at least you know what's going on.
Right? You don't have to keep thinking about it.
Yeah. My wife is a wonderful person because she keeps everyone happy. So she is the one who would think, oh, what will he think? So when we started dating and when it started, so I told her that never mince your word when you are angry on me. Express whatever you want to express without any filter. Don't worry about that, what I feel. What you should worry about is what you feel.
Got it.
Because your expression, your feeling is important for me. If you're not happy, I will not be happy.
True.
So in my life, and this is a motto which I follow. In my life, the central character would always be me. In your life, it would be you.
True.
Right? So do whatever you feel is good for you.
We have to find our own spaces and our own.
Right. So this is quite understood that we have identities, right? She has an identity, I have an identity, my mother has an identity. Without that identity, we would cling on someone else to take care of us.
That is true. So on that note, let's say if you take India, right? Normally early marriages are preferred, right?
Yeah.
I believe your marriage was
very late.
Late. Okay. So since you've known, from your perspective, what do you think should be the mindset? It's not getting married, it's a mindset because you're committing to a long-term relationship, right? What do you think, based on your experience?
See, I can't generalize it, but if I have to take my case or my example, I took time to decide upon that who's the person I want to be with. And I would say that everyone should, because it was not about someone else, it was me, whether I am ready or not.
True.
See, one has to have that mindset. Do you want to share your room, your cupboard, a lot of things, your life, your thoughts, your lifestyle, your daily routine, right? Are you ready for that?
So basically, it should be an informed decision. You should take a lot of thought process before getting into a long-term commitment.
Somewhere you also have to share your goals.
True.
Your vision of life. And
as you mentioned, each will have their own sort of goals that has to be.
And you should be ready to take a backseat.
So on that note, you do a lot of theatre, right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of workshops, I believe, where let's learn a little bit about that. So what's the passion there?
So theatre is a wonderful platform to express myself in the way I want to.
Yes.
Using multiple characters, right? It allows me to become what I can't become. But somewhere I have the urge to be that character.
Got it. We started from your college days, right?
School days.
It's been all throughout, from school till
from
today.
From school, college. School, I was not very active in theatre. Skits and dramas I used to participate in. But actually, my journey started during the college days.
Okay.
In terms of theatre, if I have to...
We don't see much of theatre nowadays.
No, it's there.
It is there. It's just that we may not be aware of all the different platforms.
It's coming up, at least in Bangalore. When I came here in 2005, 2006, it was there. Ranga Shankara is a wonderful place.
Yes.
You see, Alliance is another place where the theatre performance is happening. I run a theatre group called Being Theatre. Okay. Dr. Pooja Pandey Tripathi is my co-founder.
Okay.
We started this in 2012. We started a concept of dine-in theatre in Bangalore. So initially when I came to Bangalore, we didn't have too many auditoriums to our disposal. So I had some clients who were running a restaurant.
Restaurants, okay.
So I just had a deal with them that let me perform there, and you offer food to my audience. I'll offer entertainment. So we started performing there in the restaurants.
That's a beautiful concept.
Yeah, and it was successful. For 2-3 years, it went on well. But then I got busy with my main profession. Yeah, so things happened. We also did a program with National Institute of Fashion Technology, and there is a college called St. Hopkins, right? Yusuf is the MD of that college.
Where is it based?
It's in Koramangala.
No, it's in Bangalore. Okay.
Bangalore. He gave me this opportunity. There's a friend of mine, Harun. He actually asked me, and he told me that now, this is the opportunity. So, can we do a corporate theater with them? A personality development, holistic development training of the students using theater. So, it was a 5 months program.
Wow!
And we did that with 120 students, MBA.
Today, you have shorter versions of it.
Yeah, we have shorter versions.
We can actually customize it for an outcome.
Yeah. That's what I understand. 7 days, 15 days. We can also have a 3 months program, depending upon what exactly they're looking for and the audience. And theater actually allows you to learn on certain skill sets or competencies like leadership, decision making, problem solving, public speaking, right? Interpersonal skills.
So develops both personal as well as social
skills.
I think it's
communication, right? It also allows you to be creative, have a vision, because when you're writing a script, you have to think and you have to come up with characters.
So do you have any sort of format for the residential associations or for schools or colleges where we could sort of package this to build the skills from the perception of an entrepreneurship or employability perspective?
Absolutely. So we have a program where we can actually conduct sessions on weekends.
Okay.
We need 2 hours with the kids.
Okay.
And
how many weekends?
So overall, we need around 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
That is around 48 sessions. That is what we require. And by the end of it, the students will be able to perform on stage.
Wow. Okay.
They will also get a chance to do a podcast. They'll also get a chance to create content for themselves.
Awesome.
Then we'll also allow them to have a small short film made for themselves. Nice. So this is a program
that adds a lot of value to your LinkedIn. To your brand.
Yeah. So
true.
So this is possible, and not only the students. See, we have a lot of theater artists who are good in this, and we want them to be a part of it. And this will also help them to earn sustenance for themselves. This is something which is helping them as well.
Right.
In turn, we want to make it a regular thing in our project, which is called Poornakala.
Okay.
This is an art village, Kala Shiksha.
I was just about to ask you about that. So
yeah,
let's know a little bit more about Poornakala.
So Poornakala is basically an art village. We have registered an organization called Kala Shiksha Kritigram. This is an art village foundation. We are 7 members as of now in that, founding members, and the 8th member is about to join us. The objective is basically it is a Gurukul, which we are building in a district taluk called Malavali, right? And in 200 acres, right? Which is a sustainable village where students would learn about performing arts, visual arts, literary arts. They would also learn about organic farming, right? They will learn about hydroponic farming, different styles of farming. They will learn about filmmaking, sports, right?
So everything about environment, sustainability, organic living.
Right. And what we want is that they should start early.
Okay.
At the age of...
The students.
Yeah, the students should start at the age of 10, 12, right?
So there would be a Gurukul in functioning.
Yeah. So at an early age, I have the choice to decide upon...
To discover what...
Which domain I want to take it for.
Like, so it can be multiple domains.
Multiple domains. Yeah. I think today you were talking about, a lady who's a Kathak dancer who decided at a very early age that she wants to drop out.
One of my friends.
Yeah.
And she decided quite early while she was studying in in JNC, Jyotinivas College.
Okay.
For, again, one of these courses,
Yeah.
like a management course. She decided this is not what she wanted to do, and she dropped out.
Yeah.
And she went to Bombay, and that took quite a lot of convincing. So her father is my friend. I mean, his daughter, and he's one of the biggest motivators.
Okay.
In Bangalore, by the name of Ajit Kaikini.
Yeah.
He runs an organization called Buoyancy, which actually imparts all the leadership and all the different skill sets for leadership and entrepreneurship. And he motivated her, and she went at a quite young age. Today, she's got a foundation called Nitya Nidhi. That's her organization.
Okay.
And it's a very inspiring story. So, as you mentioned, finding passion early and getting clarity, this is what I want to do, is very critical. And, your concept, because we always believe in early mentorship. The Gurukul system itself is about mentoring to outcome.
Right.
So, if you look at, let's say you become a Kshatriya, then that would be the skill sets that would be taught to you. Right. And the Guru has the potential to understand this is your skill set.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the Pandavas or whoever, right? They were mentored to their skill set.
Yeah.
Right. Arjun was good with the bow. Somebody else was good with, Bhim was good with the mace. Right. Yudhishthir was schooled as a king, as an administrator. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So if you look at the stories that we have, I think we had one of the best sort of educational systems. Yeah. Right? Because the outcome of education is your career path. Right. And you need, if you're taught by the best mentors, then you become the best. You reach the highest potential. And if you start early, if you look at anybody today, right? I always keep saying, if you look at a Virat Kohli, or if you look at an A.R. Rahman, or if you look at anybody, Sachin. If you look at any
Yuvraj Singh,
you would have seen the passion quite early. Yeah. Now the difference is were you mentored or not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One is discovery of the talent, and second is the mentorship of the talent, which creates that outcome. Right. So this is what we definitely recommend. I think your concept is something which can be inspiring to a whole generation of today, because all the skills that we have lost, we can actually regain. Right, we can move from a constrained sort of education system to a more free. Even the government is now promoting NEP.
Yeah, NEP is
huge, right? We have got NIOS, which is a destructured learning process, right? Which is always there in other countries, but we with 8 billion people, we didn't have that, right? So I think going back to the Gurukula system, using NIOS, using the NEP model, where your talent is so today again, employability is not that great because it is decreasing with the advent of AI. Yeah. So, I always like to interview entrepreneurs, because this platform is all about those making their own careers, their own paths, not waiting for somebody to employ them.
So, in fact, there is a framework which is called NSQF, given by Government of India. It's National Skill Quality Framework, right? And they have define the various set of skills which are required by our youngsters to deliver a certain set of tasks, right? So what they have done is they have divided into number of tasks, and these number of tasks actually clubs to become a job.
Oh, okay.
So they have defined every job role on the basis of this.
Okay.
Right. So if I am a plumber, I know what are the tasks which I am supposed to do, and the cluster of that particular task will become my job role.
Nice.
Now, the entire skill development NSDC department is actually working on those criteria, how to train these people.
Okay.
Now, to support it, they have come up with National Credit Framework, right? So every task and job skills will be converted into a credit.
Okay.
And this credit system will allow me to convert it into a certificate.
Nice.
So right from the preschool stage to the PhD stage, they have some credit system.
Wow.
Right. They are saying that 1,200 hours, minimum 1,200 hours of training and annually will give you certain number of credits, which is 40 credits or something.
So you accumulate a number of credits and you pretty much get an educational degree based on that.
Yes.
So it's a school, so that ties up to NIOS as well as this. Yes. So number of credits takes you right up to which degree?
PhD.
To PhD. From school to PhD.
School to PhD.
Just accumulating credits.
Credits.
Wow.
340 40 credits for PhD.
And you pick and choose based on whatever
Based on what is your
outcome that you want to get.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even if I'm playing tabla, I would be getting some credits for that. Music, some credits for that.
I think
whatever
that is
vocation,
the future.
Yeah, that is how it should be.
I remember one, what do you call, a video on APJ talking about this. He said, you should devote a certain amount of time to real practical experience.
Absolutely.
While you're learning, and not only theory but also application of that and application to employability. I think it's a beautiful progression from his vision.
Yeah. Like, for example, if you see in Rajasthan, there are small kids coming from a very humble family background. They become tourist guides.
Yes.
They've never gone to school.
True.
But they interact with multiple tourists.
Oh, yeah.
And they pick up skills of talking in various languages like French, Spanish,
absolutely,
English. They learn it from there, from the grassroots.
I have the same experience in my place in Kovalam. So I have a hotel based out of Kovalam. So you have kids, because you have a lot of foreign tourists coming there. It's an international resort. Yeah. So you have a lot of foreign tourists coming, and by the time they can speak German, Spanish, Japanese, all sorts of stuff. And you're like flabbergasted.
Yeah.
Right?
And see, that guy who's around 7-8 years old, now he works continuously for another 15 years, right?
Yes.
But he's not able to complete his formal education.
True.
Right?
True. So misses out on a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. So this will actually allow him to get credits on whatever work he has done for the 15 years. But those credits will translate for him into a degree.
Nice.
It could be diploma, it could be certificate, it could be, whatever, 10th, 12th, whatever, So based on, there is a criteria, a test which they will conduct.
Okay.
So the government is working really
very hard on this.
Very hard on these aspects.
Is there an option? I just wanted to see, because it's new to me, this one. So let's say 3 or 4 years of college, whatever, right? Is there an option to to maybe do a year, do some work?
Yeah.
So that maybe I can fund myself, like we can fund ourselves for our education rather than depending on our parents and the savings.
So the credit system allows me to join a college in first year. I complete my first year, second year, or after first year, I feel that I will not be able to. So for the first year, I'll get the certificate based on my credits, which I've accumulated.
And then I can take a break.
And then I rejoin
on the second year.
In the second year, not in the first year.
Nice. Right?
Also, now the system also allows you to drift, over the years in terms of your selection of subject as well. Suppose you have joined.
This is already in place.
Yes, it is part of an NEP, and it is also part of this system. So basically, if I join in first year as a science student, and I have chosen physics or chemistry, and then I realize, no, I'm not meant for this. So the second year I can change it.
Completely.
I do not have to drop out.
Awesome.
Right. So
that is, I think, one big pain point. A lot of students dropping out of, because they see it's not for them, and then they change the course.
Yeah. So that flexibility is actually there.
Nice.
And suppose if I have completed my ITI or diploma, right, and after that I have not been able to continue my higher education, so I join an organization, I keep working in certain areas, I gain an experience of 10 years, 20 years. And those 20 years will be translated into credits, and those credits will translate into your degree.
Got it. So let's touch about the profile where I got introduced to you, your CSR profile. So let's look at that.
So corporate social responsibility is a new thing which emerged. I would not say it is a new thing. Actually, the policy is new in India, which was introduced in 2014, implementation wise, and it is part of companies law. So it says that any organization who has a profit of 5 crores or a valuation of 500 crores or a turnover of 1,000 crores, if either of these three are true, then the company has to give 2% of their profit of the last 3 years, average profit of the last 3 years, right? Towards social responsibility, right?
Okay.
And because the corporate is giving it, so it is named as CSR. Right?
Okay. And what are the sort of career paths now emerging in this space?
So CSR has also, there is something called Sustainable Development Goals internationally, which is given by the United Nations. 1992, they were something called Millennial Development Goals, 8 of them. And then from there, it was broken into Sustainable Development Goals, 2030, 17 goals. Now, these goals are aligned to CSR activities, profiles.
Okay.
Right. So you can work as a CSR professional within an organization, who has to take care of the entire project coordinator, right? Or probably you can become a CSR director, or you can also be a CSR manager, right? So your job is to basically take care of the funds and the activities which are being decided by the organization. Right.
So you conduct workshops for people to understand more about CSR and its impact.
Yeah. Currently, my course, which is on CSR, it is running. It's being run by Ripple's Learning Services on their platform called CHRMP. Right?
Okay.
So it's a 6 months course, a self-paced learning, and also people can go and get a live session. So I'll be coming on 9 Saturdays.
Okay.
3-hour session, and it's they have to sit for the exam. It is on Mercer and Metal. That platform is there, and they'll be certified as a CSR professional.
Nice.
There.
So that's a whole new, different discussion. I think for today we have covered quite a bit of a journey. I'm sure we need to have more podcasts with you to learn more about all the different aspects. But I wish you all the very best, Nav. And
thank you.
We're looking forward to collaborate and, create that much more energy into entrepreneurship and into the new world for India to the next level.
Thank you so much
for being part of the show.
Yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. And it was a pleasure to be a part of Mentor Chat. And of course, we'll have more and more, episodes where I would like to talk about CSR, SDG, and ESG, how things are changing. How did I choose this career for myself? What is the contribution of different people around me who actually pushed me and made me what I am today?
Looking forward to it, Nav, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.